everyone, today we were having English unit and in that we have done the review of letter A till Z. Earlier three, as we all have discussed uppercase and lowercase letter in our previous class, so let's revise it. What are uppercase characters? Uppercase characters are capital letters. Uppercase characters and mommy letters, they both are same, they are capital letters. And what about lowercase and baby letters? They are small letters. Now let's start. The first letter is letter A. The first letter is letter A. And what is the sound of letter A? A. What is the sound of letter A? A. A for ant. A for airplane. A for ant. A for airplane. The next letter is letter B. The next letter is letter B. And the sound of letter B is B. The sound of letter B is B. B for ball. B for butterfly. B for ball. B for butterfly. The next is letter C. And the sound of letter C is K. The sound of letter C is K. C for cake and C for car. Now the next letter is letter D. And the sound of letter D is D. The sound of letter D is D. D for drum. D for desk. Now the next letter is letter E. And the sound of letter E is E. The sound of letter E is E. Now what are the objects over here of letter E? E for elephant and E for egg. E for elephant, E for egg. The next letter is letter F. The next letter is letter F. And what is the sound of letter F? The sound of letter F is F. The sound of letter F is F. What's come from letter F? F for fish. F for flower. F for fish. F for flower. Now the next letter is letter G. And the sound of letter G is G. The sound of letter G is G. G for guitar. G for grapes. G for guitar. G for grapes. The next letter is letter H. And the sound of letter H is H. The sound of letter H is H. H for hat. H for hand. H for hat. H for hand. Okay, earlier three, how do you know that hat come from letter H? Because the beginning sound of hat is H. So what is the sound of letter H? H. Now the next letter is letter I. And the sound of letter I is E. I for ice cream. I for igloo. I for ice cream. I for igloo. The next letter is letter J. The sound of letter J is J. The sound of letter J is J. J for jelly. J for jeep. J for jelly. J for jeep. Next letter is letter K. And the sound of letter K is K. The sound of letter K is K. What's come from letter K? K for kite. K for kangaroo. K for kite. K for kangaroo. How can we know that kites come from letter K? What is the beginning sound of kite and kangaroo? The beginning sound of kite and kangaroo are K. So what is the sound of letter K? K. Very good. Now the next letter is letter L. And the sound of letter L is L. The sound of letter L is L. L for lion. L for lamb. L for lion. L for lamb. The next letter is letter M. And the sound of letter M is M. The sound of letter M is M. M for monkey. M for mouse. M for monkey. M for mouse. The next letter is letter N. What is the sound of letter N? It's N. The sound of letter N is N. N for nest. N for newspaper. N for nest. N for newspaper. Now let's move towards the next letters. The next letter is letter O. The next letter is letter O. And the sound of letter O is O. The sound of letter O is O. O for octopus. O for orange. O for octopus. O for orange. The next letter is letter P. The sound of letter P is P. The sound of letter P is P. What are the vocabulary words of letter P? P for panda. P for pencil. P for panda. P for pencil. The next letter is letter Q. What is the sound of letter Q? The sound of letter Q is qua. The sound of letter Q is qua. Q for quilt. Q for coil. Q for quilt. Q for coil. The next letter is letter R. And the sound of letter R is R. The sound of letter R is R. R for rabbit. R for rose. R for rabbit. R for rose. Now let's move towards the next letter. The next letter is letter S. Which letter is this? Letter S. And the sound of letter S is S. The sound of letter S is S. What are the vocabulary words of letter S are here? S for snake. S for strawberry. S for snake. S for strawberry. Next letter is letter T. And the sound of letter T is truck. The sound of letter T is T. T for tiger. T for truck. T for tiger. T for truck. How can we know that tiger and truck come from letter T? Because their beginning sound is T. T for tiger. T for truck. Now the next is U. Which letter is this? U. And the sound of letter U is A. The sound of letter U is A. U for unicorn. U for umbrella. U for unicorn. U for umbrella. Now the next letter is letter V. And what is the sound of letter V? It's vibrate your mouth. How can you say? The sound of letter V is V for vase. V for violin. V for vase. V for violin. The next letter is letter W. Which letter is this? W. And what is the sound of W? It's W. The sound of W is W. W for watch. W for watermelon. W for watch. W for watermelon. And the next letter is letter X. The next letter is letter X. Now tell me, what is the sound of letter X? The sound of letter X is X. The sound of letter X is X. X for xylophone. X for xylophone. Now the next letter is letter Y. The next letter is letter Y. And what is the sound of letter Y? Y. What is the sound of letter Y? Y. What are the vocabulary words of letter Y? Y for yo-yo. Y for yarn. Y for yo-yo. Y for yarn. Now the next and the last letter is letter Z. And the sound of letter Z is Z. The sound of letter Z is Z. Z for zip. Z for zebra. Z for zip. Z for zebra. So earlier three, you have to repeat it in your home. You have to do the practice of uppercase and lowercase letter as well. And you all have to revise their vocabulary words as well. Jazakallah everyone. Allah Hafiz.